Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Football United TV. And of course, the show today is United Across the Pond. And we are joined by some very special guests. Omondi's back in the house.
Hi, guys.
Hello, Monday.
Solo's in the house, mate. First time on as well from the Man United agenda. How are you guys?
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me on.
Brilliant. And we got Mateo from Canada.
Guys.
Hello, Mateo. Greetings.
Thank you
for joining
Hello
us.
to you guys too.
Brilliant, man. Thank you for joining us. And pretty much wanted to talk about the Europa League, didn't we? Because it's tomorrow. It's a big game, innit, Omondi? I know, yeah. I'm just hoping that we do something. We always get knocked out in the semi-finals recently, and it's kind of I'm kind of a bit like I'm not sure what's going to happen, even if it's a comfortable first leg. But look, let's start off with the new guest, Mateo and Solo first. You guys, what do you make of this game going into it against Roma?
Mateo, you want to go first?
Sure.
Yeah. Sorry,
Well, I was watching the presser this morning, and again, they're speaking about the experience and the hurt and the pain that the semifinal knockouts have caused, and that can be used as a driving force to really go for it this time and make it to the final. I hope that this is the case. Really, like as you are, I'm not certain. I can't really put my money on them, and it's a little bit I'm 50-50 on how we're gonna go into it. But definitely it is some experience from the previous ones. Last year we did make it to the semis, got knocked out by Sevilla. Let's hope this year we can do well over both legs and go attacking too, not just really sit back and kind of wait for the second leg.
I completely agree. Solo, what about you? Would you agree with that?
I do agree in some way, but for me, I feel confident. I don't know why it is. Yesterday on the show, everyone was shocked and surprised because normally, for me, I'm a bit, I'm not sure. And even I predicted for us not even to concede a goal in tomorrow's game. That's how confident I am feeling.
Wow.
Like what Mateo says, I think we're going to go into this game, and because we've been knocked out in the semi-final last season by Sevilla, we've been knocked out the semi-final by Chelsea in the FA Cup, we've been knocked out in the semi-final by Leicester City. All the players, and listening to like Luke Shaw today in his press conference, it's like all the players are up for this game. Yeah. And for me, and again, I'll probably speak for all of you guys, this is a game that we need to go in. We need to retain the ball in midfield. If we retain the ball in midfield, I honestly believe we can go into this game and we can win this game 3-0.
Very confident there, Omondi, right? Are you as confident as Solo on this?
No, I said yesterday it'd be a 1-0, but yeah, it's the unknown. Like playing the Europa League is great for young players that we've got in our squad. Great experience for next season for the Champions League because it's a different style of football. Roma, I mean, I don't get to watch much European football these days. Can't get access to it. But I've been trying to do my research, as we say, and doing my homework the other day. And they're struggling in the league, but still got quality players. And it's the typical thing with Italian players. Excuse me, stop that. Typical players, and Italian teams, they know how to manage games. So they can contain us. They can keep the ball. They can be suave. They can be intelligent. So we're gonna have to come up against this. It ain't gonna be Leeds United like the other day, 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, not gung ho.
So it's the contrast from that. We're going from that to a different game, So we have to be on, to be switched on, no lapses, because suddenly they can just strike. So I just think they're gonna go softly, and then try to hit us with something. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, Mondi, I just wanted to cut in on there and ask you this as well. Like, what did you make? Why did we play so flat against Leeds? Like, it was very good defensive, I thought, but we just weren't very good. And to be honest, nor were they really. I don't know what was going on.
I thought they were brilliant. I think what they do, they've got championship players, and the philosophy behind it is they work your butt off. So they're on you. No time. And it frustrated our players. We're used to, even in the Prem, like we play Sunday football, something. You don't get no time in the ball. You get more time in the Premiership than you do on a Sunday pitch, So they had no time in the ball, no time to turn. They're getting pinched, punched, and all over the park, and it was frustrating them. So they didn't have time to play or break them down. And that's the thing with Leeds. They work their butts off for that. So that's something you're used to in the Championship, not in the Premier League. And so I give credit to Leeds for that. They really, really run us ragged, and they've done it to most teams in the league this season. It's just that we're not used to that kind of intensity. So going from that to a bit more an Italian game is going to be a huge, huge contrast, like day and night.
Yeah, Mateo.
One more thing. The reason we struggled against them because we struggled to break teams down. Get a philosophy. Ollie needs to start having a philosophy of play, a system of play to break teams down, and then we'll be a bit more comfortable with it. Man City, with all that pressure, being pressed like that, they got ball players, like Solo was saying, that can retain the ball. So after a while, they think, I'm not going to rush this guy. I'm not going to press him because he's just going to pop it off. But with our guys who are not so comfortable like that, it was easier for Leeds to do that on us. Sorry, I'm going on.
No, that's all right. I just, because before the stream started, Mateo, you said you might possibly watch a little bit of Serie A. What do you make of Roma going into this? Like, and they've got two of our ex-players as well. We've got Mkhitaryan there, and we've got Smalling. They've done well to get to the semi-finals, so they surely should be a team that we shouldn't underestimate, right?
Yeah, I think they deserve to be there, as with any team that makes it far into any competition. As Omondi was saying, they're very strategists in Serie A. They know the chess game. They know the right moment to strike. They can be patient. They're patient. Let's put it that way. They're a very patient team. So over the course of the two legs, the 290 minutes, I think they can really, wait for their moment to pounce. They're like hunters in Serie A. So I do agree they're not doing the best in Serie A, but this year it's very, very competitive between the top teams. Lazio, Juventus, Inter, AC Milan, all those teams are doing fantastic. So to be fifth, maybe, in Serie A, Roma is not doing too bad at all compared to those teams.
Do we all remember that 7-1 drilling that we gave him, though? At the,
of course we do.
Good. Of course we do. Hopefully we can get something like that, Solo, yeah?
Yeah. So, again, the guys talking, I do keep an eye on Italian football. Like every weekend, I do sort of check results and stuff like that. And like we said, Roma isn't a team that we should sit there and overlook at all. Roma finished top of their group. But with the top of the group, I think they won 2 games at home. And in the whole group stage, they lost 1 and they drew all their away games. That's how they got to that stage in the knockout stage in the Europa League. Now, you said, touched on it. We got Mkhitaryan, and Mkhitaryan scored a goal, I believe, in the Europa League when we won it under Jose Mourinho. And also we got Mike Smalling, like I like to call him. And he's been out for a whole month, and he's only just coming back now from injury. So again, Ole did not believe in him. So because Ole didn't believe in him, I think he's got point to prove. And he's going to come back, gung-ho, ready to play against Man United. And he will know how to play against some of these players. Like your Marcus Rashford, he'll know how to handle. He'll know how to handle, maybe not so Bruno Fernandes. But again, with Bruno Fernandes, if you watch, we're going back to the Leeds game now, Matt Phillips did a job on him. And what you're going to find with, like, say, for instance, when I watch Roma play, when I watch the highlights of them, they in all the games they play, they're man mark. And they're going to go and they're going to look for Bruno Fernandes as the threat. And what they're going to do is mark him out the game. But like I was saying yesterday on the Man United, the Agenda show, I was talking and I was saying, this is a game that Pogba has to come and basically be counted in.
Yeah. Would you agree with that, Omondi? You think Pogba should be given that chance to prove his worth?
It's Pogba's showtime tomorrow. It's Italian football. He's going to show the whole Italian league what they're missing because they paid 100 mil for him and he's going to step up. I guarantee he's going to step up. This game suited to him, suited to his style, his pace. He's going to love it. It's showtime. Trust me. We were saying this yesterday. Pogba, I'm putting him on my spotlight. He's going to be on player cam and I'm going to enjoy the show because I just think it's just made for him. Games like this are really made for Pogba to step up and he's got something to prove. It's a semi-final, big games being televised. It's on in Italy, and not saying it's a shop window for him, but people will be saying we're talking about him. That's what he wants, and this is where he'll be trending after the game. Because I'm sure, just like with the AC Milan game, he had a little extra sauce for them, So I'm sure it's going to be a special game for Pogba tomorrow, playing against an Italian side and the top Italian side at that.
Did he have to come on as a substitute to score that goal again?
Yes, he did. He did. Yeah, he did. And again, this is.
Do you think he's a 90-minute player, or do you think he, at the moment, he seems to be more impacted than he with coming on?
Just quickly, I think he'll be a 90-minute player tomorrow in the Italian-paced game, easily.
Yeah, I'm going to disagree with that. Pogba is a 90 minutes man, and the only reason he came on at half-time, he just came back from injury, so he was easing himself back in. Because remember, he was out against Everton. He got injured against Everton after we're 2-0 up. We end up drawing 3-3 for that. He was out for the next 6 games. In those 6 games, we picked up 1 win in those 6 games. And then he came, and that was our first game. We went on 1 after that. So no, 90 minutes for Pogba.
You're lucky Pundit ain't here, guys. You really are. You know what he's like with Pogba, you know what I mean?
Listen, I'm Pogba in. So I'll back Pogba all day long. He put on that Man United shirt, and Pogba is world class. There's no one out there can tell me Paul Pogba is not a world class player. Paul Pogba on his day can walk into any single team in world football. He can do things where other players cannot do. He's athletic. He's got pace. He can beat a man. He can hold a man up. What game I was watching the other day against, and he was making them look stupid. The way he was holding the ball up in the corner, like Tottenham. That was it.
Yeah.
Tottenham Hotspurs.
Intelligent, running down the time.
Intelligent player. Yeah, exactly. So to me, again, don't know if you guys agree with me. We should be doing everything at Man United to keep Paul Pogba at that club.
Agreed.
Everything.
I do agree only if he agrees that he wants to be there. If he says his heart's set somewhere else, I want him to go. Just for him. Do you know what I mean? If your heart really wants, like, look at Hazard, you look at Ronaldo when he left Madrid that time, and it didn't hurt me as much because it wasn't like he was being unloyal. It's just that his heart was always set on that dream. And I kind of feel like Pogba's dream is to play for Real Madrid, even if he doesn't come out and say it that much. I think he has hinted at a move, hasn't he?
Yes. Yes.
I'm not just him, though, to be fair. Mino Raiola, isn't it? Who's really
his agent. Apologies. Yeah. His agent has hinted. Paul Pogba hasn't said nothing. The agent has. But in the current climate right now, I honestly don't believe Paul Pogba will leave Man United because no one's going to pay the money.
I think he has said once that his dream would be someday to play at Real Madrid. Like that I think he has said that.
He did say something along those lines, I think, and his brother and his agent have also kind of more spoken for him. But I think nowadays he's into it. I think he's really happy playing, especially like with a player like Bruno. Those two minds on the field, they really that's where I feel that this game can be won or lost. I think the midfield battle is going to be huge. I think Bruno was a little bit isolated against Leeds. We need a couple like really, really smart players to be, in the midfield battle so that we can win this tactical game.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Touch on that as well, what you're saying about obviously the Bruno Fernandes and Paul Pogba. Did any one of you guys see the interview with Paul Pogba where he basically praised Ole Gunnar Solskjaer about his managerial style compared to Jose Mourinho's?
Recently?
Mm-hmm. Yes, very recently.
Yeah, I think so.
Like a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, max.
Yeah. And it's endorsed to say he's happy at Man United.
That's what I got from it too.
I don't get that though.
It's
weird, isn't it, Omondi? Like, no, please tell me, because then I can go on after you.
Yeah, I think it's very smart the way he said it. He's comparing Jose to Oli. That was the question. So he's not saying, if it was just a case of what do you think of Oli and thing, you might get a different answer. But when you're comparing Jose, who upset him and is doing poorly now, and that was a catalyst maybe for him to get sacked soon afterwards, to Oli, then it's a different thing. He's saying he's enjoying playing under Oli. Didn't say anything about how tactically great Oli is or anything like that. He's just saying he's enjoying playing under Oli, and Oli wouldn't treat players like that or something along those lines. So it's not really, I don't see that as a true endorsement of Oli.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, I think that as well. And he's got to be careful as well, seeing as Riola's being careful as well about what he's saying. Solo's gone. While Solo's gone, I'm just going to shout out some comments. I'm sure he'll be back in a minute. Thank you everybody for tuning in so far. Please smash the subscribe, like, share, do what you can, and go and follow everybody else. And I will shout you all out at the end, your socials where everybody can find you. Miss Melina says, hey, big up everyone on the panel. I I just wanted to thank you all for your time and for sharing how you all support a shite football club. Just kidding. She's an Arsenal fan, Omondi. So Mateo. So, I don't know how she can say that to us. I really don't.
She's an Arsenal fan.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
They created the Prem Hall of Fame, and if they were to do a UEFA Champions League Hall of Fame, pick 3 players not from the club you support, who would you pick to enter? That's a good question. Okay, we can go with Monday first. Go on then.
Woo! On the spot like that. Wow.
You need a bit of time.
Champions League. Okay, Champions League. I'm going from 1992 or whenever the Champions League really began. Oh God. Just give me time. It'll come. Wow. That's a good one. Wow.
They're all Man United players for me.
We can't choose Man United players. Sorry. Can we do one? All right, I'm going to say...
Apologies, guys. Apologies.
That's tough. Maybe
I'll say Gareth Bale.
Okay. Hall of Fame. Okay.
What about you, Mateo?
Oof.
Sorry.
Read that comment as well, Solo, so you can think about your player while Mateo...
Sorry. Wait. I'll tell you what am I saying, Gareth Bale? I've just said because he's won 3 in a row, whatever. Zinedine Zidane. Because he managed 3 times and he won it once.
He won it himself, yep.
Yeah, and it got to a couple
with that crazy goal in the final too.
Yeah. So we go around and I'll have another team by then.
It's difficult, isn't it? Oh.
Who could I say? I'd probably say Ramos. I know it's 2 Real Madrid players, but I think Ramos is, and especially with that tying goal that he had in, I think it was 2014.
Yep.
And just the leadership, like I haven't watched so many years back, like 1992, but from what I've seen in recent years, like there hasn't been like another dominant leader like that, especially on the defensive side. I was starting to think when I read the question, I was like, okay, let me think. 1 attacker, 1 midfielder, 1 defender, and maybe that's my first defender.
Good shout.
Solo.
Okay, at the moment, I've just jumped back on. The first player I've got, I've probably got to come back to me again, but for me, it's going to be Gabriel Batistuta will be the first one.
Okay,
cool. Did he play much? He played for Fiorentina once. They went to Wembley, beat Arsenal. Didn't really play much, and he won the League of Roma, and then I don't think he played much in Champions League.
I think he did. I'll have to do it. Yeah. And the other player is Philip Lahm.
Oh,
yeah, good shout.
Okay. Underrated. Yeah.
Very underrated player. And I'm going to probably say another player that people probably will sit down and be like, not sure. Actually, you know what? I'm going to say Xavi.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Xavi. And the reason I'll say Xavi is because he turned around and he said to every single person when he got voted Player of the Year, and he turned around and said, don't ask me, you should give it to Paul Scholes.
Classy.
You had to bring United in somehow.
Somehow. It has to be. It has to be United, isn't it?
Matt, let's hear yours. Come on.
Mine's going to be R9. I'm going to pick R9.
For not really great Champions League record.
That game he had against Man United where he...
Okay.
I just seeing him in that game as well, and I was like, "Who's this guy?" Like,
it didn't matter which opposition he came up against. That is a shout. For
he was raw. He literally teared United apart. I remember that game. I was in tears that game.
Him and 2 Brazilians kicked our asses at Old Trafford.
Yeah. I'm going to name another 2 quickly. Just to
go for it.
And just a little summary on why. Del Piero, I thought Del Piero at one point was fantastic. They got rid of Baggio. I'm thinking, you crazy? And they brought in Del Piero. Don't think Del Piero is ever better than Baggio, but in the Champions League, his free kicks, his goals, even though they lost to Dortmund the one season as well, I thought he was fantastic and always a threat. And the other guy I'm going to say is my man Rivaldo. Didn't win the Champions League with Barcelona, but what a player. Even against Galatasaray when they played Liverpool that time and Gerrard scored that goal. He was brilliant. One of the top players ever. When I think Champions League, Rivaldo, man. The goals he scored against Valencia to get himself in the Champions League one season for Barca. Don't know if you remember that last minute and hat trick, chest box overhead, and the goals he scored against Man United as well. The free kick, Michael was stuck, dug in sand, and the overhead against Gary Neville was
For me,
fantastic.
You see, again, I've just come up with two names. I've got to pick one of the two. I've came up with Samuel Eto'o.
I was thinking of him exactly.
I'll come up with Samuel Eto'o, but I also come up with Cafu.
Why
Okay.
Cafu?
He was great.
AC Milan.
Huh?
AC Milan.
Yeah, Cafu. But then we start talking, and I'm thinking, Seedorf. You know, it's coming. It's
Free
getting
to
there,
play.
but
Yeah,
it's
go on
getting
all
there.
day.
So
We could, couldn't we? We
Yeah. Really good question.
we could push the
Mateo.
boundary.
Maybe I'd like to watch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
to piggyback AC Milan, I was thinking Ricardo Kaká.
Oh,
Next.
Yeah.
I mean,
There you go.
he had that
Yeah.
insane
Did he win
performance
it?
against us, and he won, and he made it to the final in 05, if I'm not wrong, against Liverpool when they came back, that crazy
Yeah.
comeback.
they won. Yeah.
And then 2 years later, in 2007, they won. So, and then
Was
that
Kaká
year
on that side?
he won Ballon d'Or that year when
Okay.
they won it. So
Wow.
that's kind of like a individual treble or something, if you want to go by that.
Welcome
Hello.
in.
Greetings.
Hello. How you doing? You all right?
Yes, how are you?
Good.
Sorry, what's the subject? I was just with Stephen there, so I've not.
Well, we're going on to this question I just wanted to read out a few more comments. I'll go back to your comments, Melina. We will do them at the end because there's some good questions there about Liverpool as well coming up. Question for Mateo. What inspired you to support United? Have you ever been to a United game? You're not under pressure, right, by that. You don't have to answer the second one, right?
No, I'll answer. No, I've never been to a United game. I'm dying to go. Probably before the world shut down, I was making plans to head over at some point or another within the next couple of years. Hopefully, I can go and start to see this team that I feel is growing in the right direction in some way. We can get a couple more players and then really challenge for the league. I would really like to go to one of those games, maybe in 2 to 3 years' time, where we have a couple more players. No, I haven't been. I haven't been over to Europe. And what inspired me to support United? I don't know, just the name, the history. Initially, my father had gotten me a backpack, and I didn't really know much, but I saw the badge, and it just felt like there's like a lot of glory, to use this word, but it once I learned more and more about the history and the tradition, the culture, I just fell in love. And then the opinions, chatting with you guys, everybody's just so educated about their club, as opposed to other clubs where they're a little bit more, skip the rock on the pond, a little bit more superficial. We know our stuff.
A lot of other clubs, Mateo, they don't have anything to talk about like we do. We got a history, you know what I'm saying?
We got history, and that's what I love about it. Like, even if we're not doing well, we have something that we've done.
I agree.
Brilliant.
Talk. What about you? Actually, talk. Let's ask you. When did you start supporting Man United? When do you remember feeling the passion that Mateo said right there?
Well, let me put it like on the streets of Salford as a kid, all I ever saw was red, just red. And then my earliest memory is sitting next to my dad. He sat in the chair, and I'm watching the telly, and I knew there was football on, but I didn't quite understand who was playing or whatever. But I just remember my dad going absolutely mad. He just was going mad, jumping up and down all over the shop, shouting on top of his lungs. You know what I mean? Because I asked him many years later, what was all that about? And I remembered it, and he said, it was Norman Whiteside when he was going down the wing. He's legging it down the wing, and he goes, and he just bang, just levered the ball in the back of the net. I can't remember the game. I think it might have been. Was that against
Everton FA Cup for 85.
Yeah, I think it was.
10 men. Kevin Moran got sent off by Pete Willis, and then when Frank Stapleton went to centre back, and we survived against Everton, the champions, until extra time. 10 minutes. Norman Whiteside got a break, little step over, used the defender, and curled it around. The best goalkeeper in the world at the time, Neville Southall. Brilliant. I was on.
Yes. So no, you're right, Matt.
I love that goal.
You did me a favour there, because I was a bit too young, but I mean, so that's my sort of how should I say
introduction.
Yeah, my introduction into Man United. And like I say, that's all I've ever known, mate, is Red. So, you know what? I mean, I actually remember Fergie. I think actually just about. I think what year was that? 86, Ferguson.
86 Ferguson.
86, yeah.
86.
Yeah, I think I just about remember my dad saying something along the lines of, because my dad's Irish, and he's saying something along the lines of, well, just because you've won stuff in Scotland, mate, doesn't mean you're going to win stuff at there. This is Manchester United. This is Manchester United, not Aberdeen. And I was like, oh, right, whatever. But you know what? How wrong.
Saying that, Aberdeen beat Real Madrid in the cup final, 83.
Yeah, they did.
When you think about how big that is.
Yeah.
Alex Ferguson, yet again, isn't it? You know, like even for Aberdeen, won European trophies, and I think he won the league, right?
He won the league as well.
Up the Rangers Celtic connection, yeah.
What about you, Omondi? Then, like, when was your introduction to Man United? Because you seem to you can remember '85, like that was before.
Yeah, well, I mean, when Talk MU started talking about that, it just brings back memories for me. Yeah, my father, rest in peace, just passed away recently. He was a huge Man United fan. The whole family, Man United. It's just like a big thing. All Jamaicans, they love Manchester United. My grandfather, when he came to the UK in 1940 something, he was based in Manchester. You know, so they've witnessed this all. It's just, if you're in a Forbes in the Forbes family, you have to support Man United. But like I say, my back garden in Perivale, imagine this. Just hear this out, yeah. My back garden in Perivale is CFA Cup final day was always hottest day of the year, no matter where you were, yeah. And even though it was in May, it was the hottest day. It just, and the build up, everything was fantastic. Now I remember in '83 we beat Brighton, and that was good. But it went to a replay. Everything else, beating 4-0 eventually. But this game against Everton, because Everton was so good. So good. People don't realize how good that Everton side was. And if it wasn't the highest disaster and being out of Europe for all those years, they would have gone on and had big clashes with like top European clubs. Instead, Glasgow Rangers ended up signing up all their best players. But anyway, we're playing Everton in the cup final. Didn't think we stood a chance. Peter Willis sends off Moran for a tackle on Peter Reid when he was going through. It was like one of his first professional fouls, you know, and everyone was shocked. You don't send people off. Kevin Keegan and Billy Bremner are punching each other up, you know, and it's like, you know, get off of it, you know, that sort of thing. So it was Reveal's big shock. We survived, went on. Norman Whiteside, brilliant player, 17, one of the youngest players in the World Cup in '82, talented player, but a bit of a drinker like Paul McGrath and the rest of them. Got the ball wide, step over and curled it around Neville Southall, who that year was a fantastic player. Now, my back garden was leading on, I live near Wembley Stadium, and trust me, there's 100,000 people at the stadium that year. We could hear the cheers from Perivale. Solo, you know where Perivale is?
Yeah, I know Perivale. Yeah,
I'm that garden lead, so I can almost see Wembley. We can hear the cheers, and we're going out the garden, and they could probably hear us as well. Fantastic. That's why I support Man United. Always have. Through those years, I was growing up. We had barren year. We were the FA Cup team. Weren't really winning much, and we had to suffer a lot. Suffer a lot of banter and all that kind of thing. But Man United, I just love the club. Love what they represent with the youths. And always since 1936, always having an academy player in the squad. I mean, this is fantastic. And we're a big club, huge club, and you can't beat it. You can't beat it. It's only Liverpool, I feel, can have that same kind of rivals, supporter spirit, you know. But Man United all the way, man. Never forget them. Never forget that moment. 1985, brilliant.
What a memory.
What about you, Solo?
Well, Omondi's touching on 1985. I started supporting Man United in 1985.
Hey, there you go.
So, yeah, for me, I was born in Jamaica, and obviously the top clubs in Jamaica at the time was Liverpool, your Arsenal, your Leeds United. I would always say, and for myself, I'm not a follower, so I never used to follow the trend. I used to always go against what's going on. Man United, 1985, that was what Omondi said about the FA Cup. Listen, we had Ron Atkinson when, you know, as Man United manager. For me, the player that caught my eye, and every time I talk about it and I say to people about it, people banter me, but it's because I look at him as a player, this guy, and I think he was one of the most underrated players that ever graced and played for Man United in Mark Hughes. underrated player.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
When I watched Mark Hughes, I wanted to be a striker. That's it. I wanted to play up front. I used to go down, and on Monday you'll hear stories about your granddad, your dad, and everyone telling you stories about picking like the fruit off the tree, kicking it, and using it as a football. And that's how I was as a kid in Jamaica. That's how it was. Because for me, being Mark Hughes, that was it. And I'll never forget when I first came to this country back in '91, and we've literally, well, I've just missed out on us winning the cup on the sort of so I just missed out on it. But the minute I walked in and with my aunt, I said, "Can I have a Man United shirt with Mark Hughes on the back of, please?" That's the first thing I said to her. And I walked out, and I'm new to the area. People was thinking, "Who the hell is this guy walking around Mark Hughes thing?" You know. And I was like one of the first kids to have a football shirt with a name on the back of it.
Wow.
And that's the reason. And I'm passionate about Man United. Listen, our banter, people can come at me and I'll talk to everyone and I'll probably slag some players off or whatever off. But no one can come to me and say anything about Man United. No one can. It's not allowed.
You know,
let me do it.
One of the biggest things for me, when everyone ever talks about Man United and everything else, I just say, look at 1958. We were on the brink. We're on the brink of collapse. 24 hours we were going to go. We got some offers from clubs who I have massive respect for, Sheffield Wednesday being one of them. And what happened just 10 years later? What did we do? We go and win the European Cup. Yeah. First English team to do it.
And prior to that, we got to the FA Cup final. Magnificent, 5 years later or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was a really good bounce back from us, wasn't it? You know what I mean? Like, Ferguson, like you said, was on the brink of losing his job as well, and then it all happened for him. Do you know what I mean? And it's really nice to see like a little bit of faith in a manager these days, and a bit of time and a bit of patience pays off. You know,
part of that thing there with Ferguson was the discussion around what the plans were going forward. Unfortunately, them talks actually took place, because otherwise he could have well just been, you know what, see, you're going to bring somebody else in. But his idea and his vision about, listen, we need to lose the beer drinkers here. After the match, go into the pub. This is not where we're supposed to be doing this. This is not what I was doing at Aberdeen. This is not what I won things with. So the faith in that idea from the board at the time is like, you know, we have to give them credit as well for going, you know what, okay, we can see what you mean, and we're gonna go with it. And fortunately for us, you know, well, can I just ask anyone? I take it you all watched 1999.
Yes.
Can you remember what you was doing on that night?
Yes.
I'll tell you what I was doing. Right, I was with the missus that I'm with now. Right,
Congratulations.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Good innings, man. Well done.
So we were there because she supports Leeds, unfortunately.
God.
Which is I know.
Water roses.
They got the goal. So obviously she was quite pleased, and it was dragging on and on and on and on and on. And I was on the couch, lying on the couch, just before we got that first corner. And I'm on the couch and I'm praying to Sir Matt Busby, and I'm saying, please, Sir Matt, please give us something. Please help us, please. Anyway, we got that corner, and then it pinged out, and one of their defenders sort of banana kicked it. He didn't clear it properly, and it just went like, it skewed it. And then, as we know, it sort of went out to who was it? Who was it who pushed it?
Giggs.
Giggs
almost like miskicked it, didn't he? Miskicked the ball, Giggs did.
And then Sheringham. Oh, when that happened, mate, I nearly had an heart attack, right? And I was on the phone to my dad. Because he'd stopped watching it. And I couldn't get my breath. I couldn't get my words. And my dad's going, what the bleeding hell's going on? What's going on? I said, I couldn't get my words out. And he's going, you what? I said, get it on. Anyway, and by the time I'd finished talking to my dad, I turned around and the other corner was just about to be taken. And I tell you something, mate, how I didn't just faint, I don't know, but I was out in the street and there was loads of people out in the streets just running around, like some people in just like underpants, just running around in the streets. It was just crazy. It
Just
Crazy.
hysteria.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm getting goosebumps now thinking about it.
Mate, I get goosebumps every time I think about what I was doing. I was just playing sensible soccer. We were 1-0 down, and I was
Liga.
yeah,
Yeah, I
on
remember that.
the computer, and I was like, I'm going to go and be
Mega
Man United.
Drive.
1-0 down. I'm going to play Bayern Munich, and we're going to win this. I won, of course, 4-1, but because I was so good at it, and it was so easy. But yeah, I was watching the game, and I remember the corner happening. I remember turning around. I was like, please, please, please. And it all happened so quickly. Like, it was one of the best things I've ever felt. Going to school, man, after that as well was very, very good. You know what I mean? Back then as well, you know, when you had no social media to ban people, you had to wait. You had to wait the next morning to go and say that to everybody. You know what I mean? Brilliant it was. I will ask everybody else what their memory is. I just wanted to shout out a few more comments because there's loads. And if you
Rory. Sorry.
Hi, Rory. Nice one, mate. Hey.
Big up, Rory.
Please do hit the subscribe, share, like. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. It's doing amazing tonight. Big up, Mateo. Up the Dragons.
Up the Dragons.
Up the Dragons. You're gonna have to tell us about what that's all about.
That's our pro clubs team that we've been building. So pro clubs is a FIFA mode where each person gets to create their own pro, build them up, their stats, and then we all play together against other random people online, and we've done pretty well. We've grown a bit.
We've got hopefully Jordan coming in very shortly because he's a Liverpool fan.
Hi, Jordan.
Jamaica. We've had a lot of talk.
Man, calm down.
Yeah, man. Yeah, say no, me. I say we are sitting.
Yeah, man.
Can I just ask quickly? Have you seen Raz Kitchen on YouTube?
No.
Oh, mate, go and check it out. It's just Raz Kitchen. RAS. Raz.
Yeah, Raz Kitchen.
In Jamaica. It's on YouTube, mate.
Yes, Mr. B.
Yes, Mr. B. Yeah.
Mr. B's in the house. Fast, aggressive start. Don't let them settle on the ball. Don't play Fred and give the ball early.
Oh, come on, man. Listen, Mr. B, man. Take it away. Take yourself away, man. What's wrong with you? Leave Fred.
Well, maybe we should ask Talk then about go back onto the Roma game very quickly. Then we're going to go straight into Liverpool and then wrap it up. But yeah, what did you think? Talk about this game tomorrow, and what does it mean for Man United going in against Roma?
Well, we've got last time, not last time, but have we played them since we absolutely embarrassed them beyond embarrassment? I remember watching that game and I was just sat there feeling like, I don't know, like king of the world. I don't mind king of New York. I was a king of the world. Just sat there beaming like, look at that. Look at this. This is Manchester United. Don't anyone ever think you're going to be better than us. I was so like swelled up. Let me tell you, I was swelled up. But you know what? I think we've got enough. I think we've enough to beat them. They've got a couple of sort of decent players, I suppose. But I don't fear anything from this team, to be honest with you. And in terms of going on and winning it, yeah, I mean, again, I said it weeks ago about it's just a case of getting the team into that mindset of going and seeing it through and reconnecting with what we're all about, which is winning. You know what I mean? That's it. Yeah. It's as simple as that for me.
Big up to Stephen Featley TV, who has just reached 1K subscribers as well.
Well done.
Congrats.
Good work.
Congratulations.
Well done to you, mate. He says, big up, guys. Thanks for all your support, Matt. Talk MU, Mel, everyone. Thanks for your help. I'm getting me to the 1K subscribers. Mate, you did it yourself, bro. Trust me. Yesterday, still can't believe. Smash the like button and subscribe now, guys. Well, yeah, thank you.
Well done.
Well done, Stephen. Honestly, he does it for charity, liver awareness. And
excellent. Fantastic job.
So, Omondi, maybe I'll ask you first on this. What's your opinion on Nick Powell being the greatest United graduate of all time?
He's not a nice. We bought him from somewhere else. He didn't come through the club.
We bought him from Crew Alexandria. Yeah.
He's not an academy guy.
No, it's bull.
I'm not buying that at all.
When I saw it, I was like, so I just wanted to ask you, didn't I? All like, where your memory of the '99 Champions League win? I know it's a treble, but it was that night, wasn't it?
It's a treble.
Can I go on that quickly? I was working. I worked in at the time. I was working in like a mental health unit, and it was like full of guys like just being sectioned, just come out. You had to be on the ball all the time. I just shut the door. I said, "No one bother me. You know, I don't care what's going on outside. Take meds and just hush up." I took the whole game in, and then a couple of guys started coming in because I was getting so excited and everything else. But let me say a couple of things about this. Why we're so great. Right. Yeah. 1968. The Champions League started, early 60s or something. We're the first English club to win it after Celtic, obviously, the year before they won it in 67. But it's fantastic that we would, and like Talk MU was saying earlier, from what happened in 58 to win it 10 years later, and with all these academy products, Dennis Law, Charlton, Nobby Stiles, Best goal. What a goal that was in the final. Fantastic, you know? So anyway, so we've won it. We've set the standard for English clubs. After the high school disaster, most clubs had a 5-year ban. Liverpool had a 6-year ban. It took us a long time. Football went downhill. We went to the dark ages in England. The football, because we're not getting used to playing against European clubs. Suddenly, Ferguson had to show what he, had to really go through it. Remember losing against Barcelona 4-0, Stoichkov and all them guys there. It was a hard lesson. I remember in the semi-final against Dortmund, they gave us a tactical lesson. It was what's his name? Hitch, the manager there, who went on to manage Bayern Munich. Yeah, so we got a lot of hard lessons. That's why it's so important. We were the first club again with coming back into Europe to win it again. And we set the standard and showed English clubs that we could do it. And then we had a period, obviously, where English clubs were dominating again, like they were dominating in the early 80s. Don't forget that. English football, from 75 to 83, they've won probably 7 out of 8. Don't get quote on it. But they were dominating with their style of football. So football develops over the years. Ferguson had to adapt his style to get into that thing. We walked into that game against Bayern Munich with an unbalanced side, Beckham in midfield, in the centre midfield, Gronkowski and Giggs. And it was really unbalanced, everything else. But we ended up winning. And that was to do with our character. So fantastic day. I would have got sacked if they knew what I was doing at work. But I made sure I got to watch the game because one of my friends was at the game behind the goal where we scored our 2 goals. Yeah? So yeah, fantastic memories. Never forget that. It was just awesome, absolutely awesome.
How about you, Mateo? Like, do you remember it and remember where you were at the time or where you were watching it? And
yeah, I mean, I was a bit young, to be honest. I just remember seeing the clips back. My dad is a big football fan. He was a ex-semi-pro keeper. He played in Colombia. He almost went pro at 18. But at the time, earning money as a footballer, especially in a smaller country in Latin America, wasn't really, it didn't have the best salaries and things like that. So his mom didn't really want him to continue on, but he was always a big football fan from those days. And even before he went pro, and then right around the times he was going to be semi-pro, he had connections with players from the Argentina team who later went on to win the World Cup. So he was always a big fan. And I saw the clips. I saw the clips, but I was young, so it wasn't until years later that I understood how big of a moment that really was. Solskjaer's won it. Like, I saw the clips. You would see the corner kick, and then a bunch of players in the box, and then in. And it's just crazy. You just knew the passion. You could see the players' reactions and their faces, and that was really special.
I like to. That was a really good way of putting that, man. Like, especially for someone who was young watching it. I mean, we all were pretty much a bit older. I do remember watching the the after party sort of stuff. You know what I mean, on YouTube and that. Like, it was pretty amazing. Solo, what about you, mate?
So, as I said, the shirt Mateus is wearing, what a great shirt he's wearing. I bought that shirt on the Monday, and it was in a long sleeve shirt on a Monday.
Yes.
I had treble winners put on the back of it, and the game was on a Thursday, the final. Then I was at home. Scousers all around me, because all my friends are like Liverpool and Arsenal fans. But my main hatred one was the Liverpool fan. And no word of lie, when I saw, I can't remember his name, who hit the post. So we went 1-0 down there. They hit the post, then they hit the crossbar, and I was sitting there thinking, this is gonna be like 4-5-0 thing, and it's like they're battering us in the first half. All of a sudden, all I remember, and I think I was just gonna turn the TV off because I just sat there and I went, no, that's it, we lost now. I'm upset, and I'm gonna get banter, like, you know, the next day, whatever. All of a sudden, before I even pressed the button, it was 1-1. Me being me, I was just cautious. I just sat back. I did nothing. I was like, you know. By the way, just to be rude, I was in my boxer shorts as well at the time. So I'm sitting there.
Don't tell us that, bro. No.
So, no, I'm going to tell you the story.
Yeah,
So all of a sudden, the next corner come in. Bang, goal went in. I had my tracksuit bottom next to me. Put them on like that, bang. No top on, nothing. My mate lives, the Scouser live 2 minutes down the road from me. I run down the road. I banged on his door. And I went, like that, yeah. I just went, fingers start swearing at him or whatever. And I go, treble winners, like that. Run off, came back home, sat down, relaxed, went to bed. The next day, I got harassed.
Yeah. That's a great
That's the story. That is the story.
Do you know what? I would have done something similar, but there wasn't any other fans where I was living at the time, man. It was just all Man United. And that's why, like I say, when I went out on the street, and it was just like, I don't know, it was chaos. It was just like, it was like, I can't even compare it to anything because that I've experienced before. But I always those words, you know, and Solskjaer has won it. You know,
yeah.
I mean,
but
Sheringham, you know. Sorry, go.
So I was going to say, but don't you think after that game, though, as a mindset, every time I used to play football, it's almost like after that, I used to go with my friends. Obviously, we used to train together because I used to play for a couple of clubs. And I always try to relive and recreate that moment. So I always let my friends take the corner and almost like you miskick, like almost like Ryan Giggs miskicking the ball. And then all of a sudden for me to try and finish it, so I could sit there, score the goal and run down the other side of the pitch where it never came through though, probably once or twice.
Do you know what though? It's when you look at it and watch it back, it's the instinct of Solskjaer because he was anticipating.
Yeah,
he's always anticipating. And when Sheringham rose like he didn't, just glanced off his head.
Yeah, the
instinct of Solskjaer, he was in exactly the right spot. And his leg automatically, without him even thinking, he's seen that ball out of his, you know, it's there and it's like, whoosh. I mean, who else could have done that at such speed?
It's not the reaction.
It is a reaction, isn't it?
I finished that. It could have skied it.
Yes, exactly.
I want to just cut in here. Jordan, I've sent you the link on Instagram. Just click that for StreamYard and that can get you in. Maybe we should go on to, actually, that's a good segue here, talking about Jordan. The Liverpool game coming up on Sunday. And look, it's significant. I think I told you as well, guys, about the protests that are going to be happening with both sets of fans, which I think is very big because, you know, Man United, Liverpool, they have the same passion. They have that same history. Do you know what I mean? And I think getting both of them fans together to protest at their owners together would be a very loud. What do you make of this? Mateo, let's start with you first.
I hope both sets of fans and more fans don't stop, especially the 6 that were involved. It's not over. I think we were all let down by the owners, every single one of the clubs that was in it, because they didn't ask the fans, they didn't ask the players, they didn't ask the coach. So it's very important that they keep on getting their voices heard, especially since fans are not allowed in stadiums at the moment, or very few, some stadiums.
Agree with that. Solo, what do you make of it? Yeah, coming up against Liverpool on Sunday.
To be honest with you, I've got a lot to say, but obviously I can't go on too much with it. As I said to you guys right at the beginning, I do not buy Man United shirts, and there's a reason why I don't buy it. Since the Glazers are in, every single season they pump out, I think it's almost like nearly 200 to 300 million out of it every single season at the club. If I'm still right with saying it, I think at the Stratford end, there's a leak there and it's still not been fixed. And that's been there since 2016 and it still hasn't been fixed. So it just shows what kind of people we are dealing with. These guys are all about taking the money out, putting the franchise in America, and also for their stadium and for their properties as well. They do not care. They're not footballing people. Joe Glazer has never been seen or even stepped foot at Old Trafford, and they're coming up with this. But I believe it's a smokescreen, this whole thing with getting rid of Ed Woodward. Ed Woodward was going to leave anyway in July, so it doesn't matter anyway. So what they've done is they've sat there and said, right, we're going to announce you're going to leave, so we take a bit of pressure off us. But no, this is now where Man United fans, Liverpool fans, all fans around from these 6 clubs, I'm going to say 4 clubs actually, because Chelsea will never get rid of Abramovich because he's won something like, is it 13 or 14 trophies since he's been there. So he ain't going to go. Man City owners, what they do for the community and everything else, they're not going to get rid of them. That's it. Man United now, Spurs, Arsenal, what these guys are doing, these guys are ripping the fans off. They're ripping the history of the Premier League. They're ripping the history of what football stands for in this country. When you have teams in the lower tier are going out of business, they got a cheek to come in and basically do what they're trying to do right now to create. Because also, not sure if you guys are aware of it, but the minute deal goes through, Real Madrid, Barcelona will get £350 million in their pocket. That's the agreement. That's criminal. And the reason why? Because Real Madrid is in they're in like nearly, I think almost £1 billion worth of debt they're in, if I'm right to say. And Real Madrid is in something like, Real Madrid and Barcelona, they're in so much debt that they use the taxpayers' money to get themselves out of debt. It's criminal. They should go to prison for that, what they're trying to do. That's all I've got to say on it.
Brilliant, Solo. No, very passionate. Amondi, would you agree with what Solo said there?
Some I do. I'm not going to bump heads, not time for that. But yeah, going back to the fans, it's great to see fans getting together like that. It's a bit like, reminds me of when after Hillsborough, Everton and Liverpool fans in the FA Cup final, they got together. It's a good family feel, family atmosphere, and I hope we can have the same thing. There's no need for trouble. It's all about football, the game we love. We're all working class people, and this is something where we can show, as fans, show our true voice and power. And sometimes they should consider doing this more often for the greater cause of football and not this money business side of thing.
Thank you, Mateo. Very well put as well. Talk. What you saying?
I mean, first, I just want to say something about the burning of the American flag. I thought that was a step too far. If I'm honest.
Shouldn't.
I mean, and I think what you can take, the way I look at that is it was a step too far, but I think that was an overflowing of passion from the fans, and a lot of the fans weren't thinking. They just weren't thinking correctly because of the once your passion for our club that we love comes out properly like that, when it's threatened, our history was threatened. I mean, wow, these things, some strange things can happen, and this, for me, the burning of the flag was one of those strange things. I think a lot of people will now they'll look back at that and think, you know what, that was a bit stupid. I don't think it was a dig at America itself. Obviously not, because we love America. I love America. The relationship and everything is strong. And also from the owner's point of view, I think they now can see where they weren't understanding the fans correctly before they did what they did, because now they understand that the fans, you've got to understand what we want and what we want to keep our tradition of our game. It's not about, I know it's about money because you're businessmen, but at the end of the day, your business now has to take a back seat in terms of football first, money second. Yeah. Because if not, where's it going to end? I was talking before with Sam, the Spurs fan on Stephen's channel. We were talking about it, Mr. Silver Fox. And we were, basically saying, look, where does this end? If they're going to go off and break away with themselves and try and create this crazy league, where does the value in it end? If it's just going to keep getting more and more out of control, because if they make their own laws and start talking about the FFP, and that doesn't exist for them. Even if I know it doesn't exist for us as it did before now in the football as we know it. But if they go and start letting things get too out of control in their own league, I mean, how long before we see the first £1 billion player? Yeah,
good call, good point.
It's not out of the question, because cast your mind back, because Solo and Omondi especially, probably Matt as well will remember Trevor Francis, first £1 million player.
Well, not quite. No, he wasn't. He was a penny off.
Close, yeah.
Yeah. But it's like, what? It was like crazy. That was like crazy money. I mean,
Kevin Keegan was like the first player to like really get like loads of money, like from Fiji as well. Like, because I remember he went to I think it was Hamburg. And he was like, I'm living like king lifestyle out here. Like the amount of money they pay him, and he's like, this was new for football players, like to be able to be living like this. Because you still have players like who were playing at the top level, but they would still like kind of Bielsa at the moment. You know what I mean? At Leeds, like he lives in a flat, like in Leeds, and he's just in the local area, like just sitting on a stool somewhere,
on a bucket.
And just, I know it's just a bit off topic as well, but what I think it creates as well with these players, with the lifestyle, they get into bad habits. I mean, with all this sort of money, and it's just a different world. I shouldn't bring it up now. I was listening to the Giggs' brother earlier, and he was just talking about some of the nastiness they were getting up to, and with players' wives and back and forth, and they think they're invincible. They can do anything they want. They need to be accountable, and I think they need to be bring them back down to the fan level, how it was in the 60s. Look at the Celtic side, like you say, keep repeating that Celtic side, 67. They were more in touch with the fans. They were working class boys. So I think now you've got these millionaires, and they've got no concept of what it's like, for the fans and everything else. So they're like, do we really care? So I think it changed a lot of things when you start creating all this £1 million player, all that kind of thing. Football's a hobby. Football's a sport. Football. That's what I'm saying. Look at athletics, like the Olympics. They don't get paid. It's amateur sport, and they still got the passion. You still see them crying. I still get off on it. So without the money. So people have to decide about love. It's like playing for your national side, for example. People are saying you might not be able to play for your national side anymore. There's no pride in that anymore. So with money, it just creates loads of added problems that we don't need, and we've seen the effects of it now. I mean, the whole Giggs case is just ridiculous.
Yeah, we won't. Maybe we'll go into that maybe on a later day.
I'm not trying to bring it up. I'm just it came to mind.
I saw it today in the news, and I'm like, oh, for God's sake!
Yeah.
I've been seeing it trending, but
that's rich footballers' lifestyles. That is rich footballers' lifestyles. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I just hope. I hope that if they're, he's going to court, he says he's innocent. Let's just see what happens. I guess you know what I mean. I never like to
innocent until proven guilty. That's what I say.
Right. Okay.
Let the case go on, and that's it. Don't get involved with stuff like that.
So, guys, let's finish it off then. But before we do, just want to get your quick predictions on the Roma game tomorrow and then the Liverpool one. Start off with Monday first.
Okay, I said yesterday, I'm not going to change my mind. I want to see from a Man United side, 1-0, manage the game out. We nearly done it against Milan at home. But this is what I'm saying. I want to see Oli in-game management, get that 1-0 against a quality side like Roma, and to beat them in their own game, And I want to see. I always say that every week, don't I, Solo? I want to see a 1-0. As for Liverpool the weekend, depending on the result on Thursday and then what side we play against them, because we really and truly, they need to beat us. They need to get in the top 4. It's all on them. So I'm a bit dubious. I don't know what to say about that game until we lead up to it. Depending on the result against Roma, injuries, do we rest players? All these kind of factors come into play. But I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a dead game because we don't need to win against Liverpool, and they do. So it's lost its edge for me. So I say a 0-0 draw.
Okay, cool, man. Mateo?
Just because they don't score anymore.
They don't.
They have trouble.
Yeah.
They have trouble.
Yeah.
No, it has to be 2 wins for us. The form that, like, looking forward a little bit more, the form Liverpool has had. I don't think that that we should let them off the hook and let them easy into the top 4. At all. So I think we have to have a little bit of a chip on our shoulder to keep them out of the top 4 and make them work hard for it.
I like this guy.
So that one has to be a win. It must be a 2-0 or 2-1. As for the Roma game tomorrow, I think we do have to manage it, but I think that there's a bit more goals in it. I don't know if it's going to be such a stalemate. Maybe a 3-1 or a 2-1 to us. So I think we need to win both, and it's at home tomorrow if I'm not wrong. So they're traveling. What I did see is that Roma had a good send off. They had like maybe, I want to say it looked like, I don't know, 50 to 100,000 people in Rome, like sending their bus off, and it's just fireworks. You know how the Italian fans are, so it was crazy. Like I'll have to link you guys the pictures, or if you check on Twitter of Roma, they put it up, and it's amazing. So they're up for it big time. But we have to show them that we've learned from the past semifinals, and then that we're gonna take it this year. We're gonna bring some glory back.
Yeah.
So 2 or 3-1 tomorrow to us, and then 2-0 on the weekend to Liverpool. We got to keep them out of the top 4. We got to keep them out. They've had a bad season, and we got to make it, worse.
Agreed. Solo.
Okay, so again, on Monday, I'm not going to backtrack on what I said yesterday. I'm going to go in for the kill. I'm going to say United going to win 3-0. We just need to retain the ball tomorrow a bit better. We need to manage the game a lot better than what we have been doing in the past. I think tomorrow we're going to be looking at Paul Pogba, him stepping up tomorrow. Jorginho, I'm sure he's going to have a fantastic game tomorrow as well. Because, again, I think he's probably our best player this season by a country mile. And you guys, if you don't know who Jorginho is, it's Luke Shaw, the best left back in the world. So, for me, definitely need to manage game. I'm not going to say Roma's like mug them off or anything like that, but I'm confident with us beating them 3-0 tomorrow. I'm very confident in that. As I'm going to disagree with it on Monday with Liverpool game, though, about 0-0 game and basically just draw against them. We've got nothing to play for. This is the biggest derby game of our season. We cannot draw. We cannot lose this game. We need to go there and absolutely beat them up. So we beat them and they don't even qualify for Europa League. That's how bad I want the beating to be. I do not want Liverpool anywhere near Europe next season. I want them to decline.
Without compromising our result, our Europa League.
And I just say as well, plenty of Liverpool fans have been hurt during this broadcast.
That's good. I like it. Keep hurting.
Foot on their neck.
Yeah, because I do not want Liverpool anywhere in Europe. Nowhere in Europe. Just literally Liverpool finish. Because what it is as well on Monday, I don't know if you noticed the league table, Leicester have won that game. I think Leicester is only 2 points behind us or 1 point behind us.
Oh, right.
We could drop down to third place if we lose this game, providing Leicester win the next game.
Good shout.
Until we're safe and sound, we need to batter Liverpool 2-0 on Sunday. That's it.
Cheers, Solo. Everybody smash the like. Oh, sorry, Mateo, go on.
Yeah, we can't give them a European position whatsoever, be it Champions League, be it Europa League. They have to, we have to beat them up. We have to. There's no European spot gifted from Manchester United to Liverpool. That's just not the case.
There you go.
Talk, your turn, mate. Finish it off for us, and then we'll shout out socials, and then we'll get to the Champions League right now.
Yeah. Okay, so Roma, I think. The question I've got with Roma is, are they going? How far up the pitch are they going to press us? That's one thing I'm sort of thinking about. But I'm going to go for a 2-0 United win on that one. I think we're just going to be that's a little bit too much for them. And listen, you talk about Liverpool, right?
Come on, you.
This is the derby. All right. We're talking about Manchester United. Right. I'm talking Liverpool. It's the biggest game in English football. All right. So, for me, I'd like to see Liverpool out. All right, out of the cup. Everything, just get rid. I tell you what, turn it into a landfill, mate. Turn it into landfill, you know what I mean?
That's it. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Stephen Gerrard and Tintin there.
Oh man,
that's brilliant.
Every time it gets me.
But brilliant. You know what? In terms of the game, I'm going with Omondi on this one. I just think It's got 0-0 written all over it for some reason. I don't know why. I could just sort of think that because
it's going to be about the fans, isn't it? It's going to be about all that. It's not going to be.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I've got a lot of respect for Liverpool. To be honest with you, for the history, you can't not sort of hold your hands up and say, you know,
it's a love-hate thing, isn't it?
Of course it is. And you know what? We're the two biggest clubs in English football. Always will be, in my opinion.
We're the bigger, mate. Come on, we're the bigger. Come on.
We're a bigger club.
Yeah. No doubt about that. But you know what? I just think with Liverpool now, the race for the top 4. It's a mentality thing for the players now. This wasn't the question before. Earlier on in this top 4 race, it wasn't, because it was all about confidence for me. The whole team got crushed with injuries. Everything's like shifted all over the shop. The confidence was just slammed. But now, because of the results and everything that have just gone, their mindset changes now to start thinking about the what it is they're actually doing and what they're being told to do by their manager. They could have big problems. They could have big problems. But
so you say 0-0?
I'm going to go 0-0, because I don't see it. I don't see them sort of just going, you know what? Let's just go all out and not disregard everything else like that's behind us. I don't see them doing that. I think Klopp has got too much respect for us to do that, and I think it's going to be one of those really tight, contested. I don't know. Do you know? We've not looked at it from this angle, have we? About
don't look at another angle. We're trying to finish it off.
but it's an important one. It's an important one because what are both sides going to be thinking in terms of what's going on with the fans outside the club when they see that? If they see that and get the images of it, Man United. Can you imagine just seeing Man United and Liverpool fans all together saying Glazers out, FSG out? I mean, that's a big. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
That's a huge statement. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's going to affect the players sort of, the way the players are thinking, surely, because you can't go into that game not thinking about that because it's massive.
Yeah, true. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Just gone over time there, but you can't always get these things down to a T, can you?
100%.
We are fans. We're not trying to be Sky Sports. There's no other program going on after, so it's not like we're hurting anybody. But, do you know what I mean? But thank you everybody for tuning in today. Please, if you can, smash the like, subscribe, share. It means so much. And most importantly, here's the time where we tell you where you can find everybody. So Omondi, starting first, mate. Where can everybody find you?
Hi guys, my name's Omondi Juma16 on Twitter. Omondi Juma16 on Twitter. You can also find me on Instagram, Zacchius Forbes, ZACHIUS FORBES, and I'm also on Facebook. You can find me. My name is Yabba Forbes. Yabba being my little doggy here. So Yabba Forbes on Facebook. And I'm part of Solo. Solo will give you all the details about what we are as the Man United Agenda. That's our page. That's our podcast. And we're also under FTB Sports Football. So thank you very much. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, and big up everyone. Mateo, and everyone else on the show today. Big up. Nice to meet you, Mateo.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Mateo, kick it off next, mate. Where can we find you, bro? And thank you so much for coming on as well today.
No,
really nice
no problem. Anytime. Hope to be on again soon. Thank you for having me on this time. It was a pleasure. It was nice to talk with some other fans. You can find me on Instagram, Mate Chocolate, MATE CHOCOLATE. On YouTube, Mateo with accent on the E, 1 T only. You can find me on PlayStation, Mate Chocolate 94. On Twitter, Mate Chocolate. If you follow this podcast channel, you can find me there. I've retweeted it and stuff. And surely I'll be on again.
Brilliant. Thank you very much,
well
man.
done,
All your guys in the house. Yeah, thank you so much for tuning in.
All the dragons there, yeah.
They're all in.
Solo.
Hey, hi.
Of course, the Man United Agenda. Very, very great show. You know I love it, man.
Thank you, and thank you very much for having us on the show today. Been a pleasure. It's for me again. It's about the support network with all of us at the moment. And Matt, you've been fantastic. So thank you very much for the support, guys. If you're watching this show, please like, please share, please subscribe it. You can find me. I'm Solo7 on Instagram at Solo7. You can find me on Instagram again at the Man United Agenda. And also you can find me on Twitter at Solo7 and the Man United Agenda as well. And also you can find us at the Man United Agenda on YouTube channel, where we also in association with FTB Sports as well. And we also got various channels on there as well in Paxton Road, Arsenal TV, Liverpool TV. So we've got the variation for all different fans. So you can find us there on all those social media. Thank you very much, guys.
Cheers, mate. Thank you for coming on again.
Thank you.
Last but not least, the Scouser.
Doing Scouts.
Yeah, well, you're going to find me like, diving down and skips and that, looking for free things and that, like cheap stuff, mate. I don't care. He's been thrown out like that for 3 seconds.
Yeah.
But and if you don't find me there, you're going to find me hanging out being a wise guy down a big mountain. You just come down there, you say, we're looking for Talk MU. He's a made guy, the boss.
Talk MU quality.
If anybody tries to tell you otherwise that I ain't a boss, you send them over here, they're going to get whacked.
Quality.
Monday knows what I'm talking about.
Oh, that knows.
Quality. Absolute quality.
Come on, Talk. Where can we find you?
Okay, yeah. But you'll find me on Twitter. Talking simple as that. Don't you go?
There you go. Simple as
Brilliant. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and thank you, everybody, for coming on.
Amazing.
Press
subscribe,
like,
guys. Subscribe.
And we shall see you again next week, and we'll be on, I think, tomorrow with a Chelsea vlog with a few people, and some of you know who they are. Like, this is going to be top tomorrow. Take care, everybody, and
bada boom.
Bada boom. See you later.
See you later. Bye bye.
Ciao.